list. Visit oneliferadio.com to shop my hand-selected vitamins and supplements, including FloraPro LP Probiotic, Berberine 500, MethylGuard Plus, and Resveratrol in optimized resveratrol. Be sure to click our banner on oneliferadio.com and create an account to receive your exclusive 20% discount along with free shipping today.
Pick me up, love. Pick me up, love. Every day.
Welcome back to One Life Radio, everyone. This is Bernadette with Diamond Gray, Aviana Barrientos, Lexi Brinkley, Von Eaglin, and James West. I want to give a shout out to Bo from Sherman who called, or actually, did she call in?
Yes, she called.
She called in, and thank you so much. Call me sometime. I love it. And I'll have them send you my cell phone if you want to text me or something. But I love it when I hear from our listeners. It validates me. It makes me feel like somebody likes me. Right?
Yeah. So you are like in love. That's awesome.
Well, it makes me feel so good. So, Bo, thanks for calling in and giving me the magnesium advice. And she's absolutely spot on. Magnesium loosens everything up, including your mind, so you can live a better life. And
remember those dreams.
Pardon me?
And remember those dreams.
Yeah. And so I used to float all the time, as you know, when I had a drift float spa open. And God, do I miss floating. It was such an incredible gift that was bestowed to me. But anyway, so magnesium is in Epsom salt. So if you want to really, if you're having a bad night, and I like I said, I thank Bo for calling in and reminding me, if you're having a really bad night, you should definitely go get yourself some Epsom salt and soak in your tub if you have one. And if you don't have a tub, maybe you live in an apartment, you just have a shower, soak your feet in Epsom salt, and it'll still get absorbed into your body, and you'll sleep really well too. Mm-hmm. So, and I'm going to give a shout out to Sun Warrior, who you are the one that turned me on to Sun Warrior 4 years ago. Yeah. Vaughn, and they've been a sponsor ever since. They are a great company, and they've been with us for a very long time. Sun Warrior, you can get it at Vitamin Shop or put it in your smoothie at Smoothie King, and it truly is a premium, all-natural, raw superfood company that is just so dedicated to providing the best vegan, plant-based protein powders and supplements. Go to sunwarrior.com. I'll do my sponsor shout-outs later, but they have a new product, magnesium, and their soil-based probiotics.
Wow. Yeah.
And they have a vegan omega-3 that is amazing. So they're doing great things, and we'll see them next week in Los Angeles at the Expo West. So we're going to be there.
Awesome.
So, James, great to have you in studio. I know this is something that you're very passionate about. For people maybe just now joining us, James is an LPC intern and licensed chemical dependency counselor, and has a master's of science in clinical mental health counseling, and practices sex therapy at Vantage Point Counseling here in Dallas, Texas. He works with survivors of sexual trauma and their partners to help them heal and connect. And he specializes in trauma recovery, addiction recovery, and EMDR. That's eye movement desensitization, and reprocessing. Okay, so that's EMDR. Okay, so James, so great to have you in studio. We're talking today about sexual boundaries in recovering from sexual trauma. And,
there's a lot of sex in there.
There's a lot of sex in there. And I have to say, I was very lucky. I mean, it's funny. Everybody has their cross to bear in life, right?
Yeah.
There are things that they need to overcome. This is not one that I had to overcome. I've had to overcome many things. This is not one. But this is something that truly needs to be addressed, because I have a lot of friends that have dealt with this, that have, had sexual trauma.
Yeah.
From I think of one friend of mine, her own father. I think of another friend of mine.
That's very common. Yeah. Incest.
I know. Why is that?
Well, I don't know. It's very common. we don't
very
know.
Sad.
No one's been talking about it either, and I didn't really even know that it was such a prevalent issue until I worked at a residential treatment center, and I learned, I would say 80% of the people I worked with reported an incest experience.
Well, you know what? Incest or just molestation.
Right.
My brother, that's schizophrenic, he was sexually molested by he was an altar boy for several years. When he was an altar boy, we never knew until actually last year, when he discussed it with my nephew and told him what had really happened in his childhood. And so this is a very serious subject, because it can alter a person's destiny in life, can it not?
It can, because it's going to stay with you. It's like Vaughn was saying earlier, we're not built to feel powerless. We get stuck in those things. And when we experience that kind of boundary being crossed, it stays in our bodies. And it's hard to get past it without really processing through it.
So a sexual boundary. And so how do we know when a boundary has been crossed?
I think we know it's been crossed when we feel angry, resentful, powerless. Those are all good red flags that something's going on here. And you can even think of sexual boundary doesn't have to be something physical where you're being touched or touching someone. It could be just comments. And that's the most frequently reported,
or even a look.
Yeah,
I know every woman in this
whistle?
room, in the studio right now, has had a look where a guy could strip you down with his eyes, and it's very unnerving.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
it's creepy, and that's something that, depending on your level of resilience and tolerance for something like that, it can stay with you.
Wow. Okay, so why do people get resentful when their boundaries have been crossed? I know that seems like an elementary question, but I want to get to the very root of this.
I think that we usually don't know we had a boundary until it gets crossed. And that's where resentment comes in. That it surprises us even that, like, oh, I didn't know I had that boundary. I didn't know that was an issue for me. And now I'm mad.
Well, I mean, clearly your father, I can't even imagine it. I thank God for the father that I had. I had like the perfect father. I really did. And I can't even imagine that boundary being crossed. But I grew up with a girl in high school. I'm not going to say her name, obviously, but her father repeatedly raped she and her sister for years. And it's like, how does that happen?
Yeah, well, so one of my first experiences in counseling, I worked at the Children's Advocacy Center of Denton County, and that was kids who were physically and sexually abused. And I remember sitting in on a court case because I counseled a kid. He was 14 years old, and he was testifying in court against his own father, who had been raping his two older sisters.
Oh, my goodness.
And so, I mean, it's a difficult thing. And as a child, whenever you get violated in that way, you get these mixed messages because you find out my body's not my own. However, your body's still going to respond to physical touch and pleasure. And so, you grow up and, there's a lot of boundaries that do get violated. And whenever you experience that, it changes the psychosexual development of someone who is young, because you start acting out, you start doing things that you normally shouldn't do at that age, and it rewires the brain differently as well. So
yeah. I'm thinking of another friend, James. If you're just now joining us, James West is here, and Von Eaglin. We're talking about sexual boundaries and recovery and sexual trauma. Another friend of mine, I just popped into my head. They're cousins, first cousins, and their uncle used to call them from California to see if they, are you home? Are your parents home?
Right.
Hey, and then he would start talking very sexual with them and tell them to touch themselves in a certain place, or unbutton their shirt. And this was all over the phone. But it traumatized both of them. To this day, they're both affected by it. So this can happen in many different forms.
I do agree with you because, what they were dealing with was someone who was a predator. And whenever
their uncle.
Yeah, the uncle is a predator because, as a pedophile, like a lot of this, everybody's been talking about this.
And there's a reason there's a trope of the creepy uncle.
So,
absolutely.
So everybody's been talking about this R. Kelly deal with, and how he traumatized a lot of people sexually. However, whenever you have a predator, one of the first things, like whenever you're dealing with a predator, you actually catch them because they violated many times before they've been caught.
Yeah.
You typically ask them, hey, why did you violate this person? The first thing they're going to say is, oh, it happened to me. Mm-hmm. Because if I'm a predator, what I'm doing is trying to solicit some type of victimization or try to solicit your empathy or sympathy, like, oh, you know what, I feel bad for you. It happened to you too. That may be the reason why you're acting like this. But all in all, I'm a predator. So
did you guys listen to Cohen yesterday?
No, I didn't actually. So what was on Cohen?
Oh, I don't want to go too much into it, but he definitely was painting himself as a victim.
Oh,
wow.
Okay.
He was, he probably was being honest that he was afraid for his life and is afraid for his life, walking around. He doesn't walk with his family. He was saying things like that.
Interesting.
So I had some sympathy for him, but then I was like, wait, this is Cohen we're talking about.
Yeah.
Though.
Well, this is so prevalent in our society. In fact, this morning I was on the phone with another friend. That's why I laughed a minute ago. I know it was kind of inappropriate. I was just like, oh my gosh, because it's so prevalent. So another friend of mine I was on the phone with this morning, I'm trying to get without saying who okay. So this is very difficult sometimes
Protecting
to get
anonymity.
But yes. And so this person's mother had a brother that exposed himself to her at a young age when they were in a car together, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't even imagine again something like that happening to me. How traumatic that would be, how disturbing it would be, and how it would affect you for many years. That's sexual trauma.
That's difficult because a lot of times you would hope that these people are actually safe, like your uncle, the people in your family. They're the people who you're supposed to be able to lean on, depend on, supposed to be safe and be protected by these people.
This was her brother.
Right.
And that's what it carries on into adulthood too,
right.
to where it's hard to even have relationships with people as a result, because my uncle, the person that was supposed to protect me, now I'm with my husband, can I trust him?
Right. Well, and that's what we want to talk about. So when we come back, we're going to talk about that. We're going to, mix it all together with the anger and take your calls. Yes. Burn on with Vaughn. And in addition, James West here is in studio with us. So stay tuned, everyone. Get your telephones ready. That sounds so funny, telephones. I don't think I've called it a telephone in years. Your phones, your iPhone, your cell phone, 214-787-1190. You're listening to One Life Radio. Wellbeing Journal is a remarkable bi-monthly health publication esteemed by intelligent readers worldwide. It's available in print or digital, single issues or subscription. Its focus is on living a happy, healthy life and preventing or healing illnesses naturally. Preventing or healing cancer, arthritis, cardiovascular conditions, and digestive issues, as well as nutritional solutions for optimal health are regular subjects. Learn more at wellbeingjournal.com.
Hi, this is Von Eaglin. As a licensed professional counselor and supervisor, I spend my career helping people cope with emotional problems. But today, I want to talk to you about nutrition. People ask me all the time for nutrition and weight loss advice, and I always find myself recommending a raw vegan protein, a food supplement called Warrior Blend by Sun Warrior. I wasn't always active and fit. In fact, I was very overweight as a child, and as a counselor, I must emphasize the importance of the mind-body connection. A clean body helps with a clean mind. Start today with Sun Warrior Blend Raw Vegan Protein. For more information, go to sunwarrior.com and start living clean today.
Hi everyone, this is Bernadette. Do you know why I love Paleo Magazine? Paleo Magazine was founded with the purpose of providing readers with the information they need to live strong, vibrant, healthy lives. They are dedicated to partnering with leaders in the paleo community to spread the knowledge of ancestral health principles without the influence of big pharma or big agriculture. Paleo Magazine. Follow them on Facebook, Twitter, Pinterest, and Instagram, or visit them at paleomagonline.com. That's paleomagonline.com.
Hey, this is Sean Wells of the International Society of Sports Nutrition. One Life Radio is proud to partner with the ISSN. The ISSN is the world's leading scientific organization dedicated to the science of supplements and sports nutrition. For their latest conferences and events, go to theissn.org. That's the ISSN.org.
Hi, I'm Bob Barker. This is my friend Benny. Before you buy cosmetics, personal care, or household products, you be sure they have not been tested on animals. Everything from floor cleaner to shampoo is poured into animals' eyes and down their throats. They suffer intensely. Some even go blind. The price is never right for products tested on animals. Visit PETA.org for a list of cruelty-free companies.
Hello, I'm Allie McGraw for People for the Ethical Treatment of Animals. Our animal companions rely on us, especially during a natural disaster. If you're forced to evacuate your home, do not leave your animals behind. Visit helpinganimals.com.
Pick up the phone, call up the line. Call up the request line. Call up the line. Call up the request line.
Welcome back, everyone, to One Life Radio. This is Bernadette with Diamond Gray. Aviana and Lexi are here with me, and Von Eaglin and James West. Before we get to our callers, I want to let everyone know that you can go to our website, oneliferadio.com, to download and listen to our podcast or subscribe to our newsletter. We've got some great stuff going out in it this week. You can also go to iHeartMedia.com to listen live and download the free iHeartRadio app and listen to us from anywhere in the world. And a big shout out to our great sponsors that care about you and bring this programming